Hi YouTube. I've been meaning to do a couple of haul videos recently because I have got quite a few products that I've been trying out and wanted to talk about, but it's been kind of difficult to work out how to divide them up to make sense, if that makes sense. So this one, just going to talk about a couple of products primarily that I missed out on over here in the UK from Chanel. Well, I say I missed out on them. I don't think they were ever available here in the UK because they were part of these Asia promotions only, but available in the United States. I never quite get how Chanel promotes certain of their products in different areas of the world only. I think it's quite effective because, of course, now in these days of global marketing and blogging in particular, you see these products reviewed, in particular the eyeshadow palette that I'm going to show you in a moment. I saw featuring in quite a lot of the bloggists who I follow's reviews in the early spring, kind of, well, February, March time, and really liked the look of it and then realised it was never going to come to the UK. And if I wanted it, I was going to have to get it from a website in the US, which is what I did. And the website I use, which I've talked about before, is called Izzy's, and they specialise in high-end products, Chanel, YSL, Dior, those sort of Guerlain brands, but the releases after they have kind of sold out from the usual places. So you can't get the products as soon as you see them being advertised and retailed in Nordstrom or wherever. You get them a little time afterwards. So it's quite a good source, not only for people in Europe trying to get products that were never released here, but also trying to get hold of products that you missed out on and wished you hadn't and are now sold out. So, for example, I got my Guerlain Cruel Gardenia highlighter, which is really difficult to get hold of even on eBay from that site. So anyway, enough blithering on about that. What was so gorgeous that I went to all that trouble to get? And primarily it was the Chanel Jardin Zen Eye Quad, which I read various reviews and I thought it looked right up my street. Released, I think, for the Asian market only. The usual, little pouch, usual black packaging that you've all seen and loved. And this is the quad. So you can see I have actually used it quite a lot. Part of the reason I'm doing this morning is because I'm starting to wear off the beautiful pattern that you can see there engraved, kind of swirls on this quad, which is a very muted colour scheme. That was what I liked. And the reviewers talked about how translucent the colour wash of these colours is. And that's right. If you like, and I often do, a really good colour payoff for your money, this is not the palette for you. If I swatch that, you can see it's a very bare colour wash indeed. It's not even showing up on my hand. Even the more scary looking colour, well, that does show up there as good and black, but it blends out, smokes out quite easily. This gold, which is a beautiful, almost matte honey gold, you can see it's very translucent. The grey there, you have to work it to get it to show. Now, I quite like that in this palette because it's very much, first of all, a cool palette, and secondly, I mean by that cool tones, not cool trendy, and secondly, I think it's a really everyday palette because you're not getting a great wash of colour when you're rushing to do your makeup in the morning to go to work that you're going to have to kind of tone down. If you want more colour, you're going to pick another palette, or you're going to really, work at packing this on. It's just nice for a very work appropriate, polished look. These colours can kind of work for everyone. You're getting your kind of little bit of discreet smoke. I like to use this one rather than this, use just this for lining. And you've got these nice kind of lid transition colours that work with a bit of liner. So, and of course I just love the pretty presentation, although that's going to wear off the engraving on the pans of colour. So I was pleased that I got this one. It's not, a palette that I can rave about in the way I can of some Chanel eye palettes, or more particularly Tom Ford. It's not one of their most classic palettes, but it is a really useful palette. So I don't know why they, just put that in Asia and not here. So having gone for that very muted shade, I got a lipstick which I think you can get in some places still in the UK, although it was limited edition. It's the Rouge Allure. I don't know if you can see that. Velvet, which is a consistency I like, although some people find them a bit drying. And it's in La Diva, and it couldn't be as more contrast to the discreetness of the palette. It's this very, very bright, beautiful blue-toned fuchsia pink. And it's just an enormously cheery lipstick to wear with a plainer eye, or even if you haven't done much for your eye at all. It's not something I wear every day, but I do like it, and I often get compliments when I wear that, really bright blue-toned pink. I really like the Rouge Allure Velvet formulation. It's about the only matte formulation that still is sufficiently hydrating for me to wear on my older lips, and beautifully packaged. And to go with that, I think this was a limited edition of their lip liners. I often don't have time in the morning to faff around with lip liners. I wish I did, because they do make a difference. This one is the perfect match for that very bright pink. So it's number 70. In Sonic Pink, and I think that is sold out over here. Just a useful one to have in your makeup drawer. It does make a difference. I mean, if I use that instead of the lipstick colour in my lips, boy, does that make my lipstick last all morning, no matter how much coffee I'm drinking. Of course, you get a little sharpener with, I've got dozens of these now. Then the two other items did not come from Izzy's. I did get two nail polishes from Chanel from Izzy's that had run out over here. I collect Chanel nail polishes, so I haven't shown them in here. I may, particularly if people are interested, do something on my nail polish collection, because I have an enormous amount of Chanel nail polishes, and I'm always on the lookout for the ones historically I've missed on eBay, but that's a separate issue. I did get, and I'm going to talk about these in another video properly, but I just wanted to say that I finally got the Hourglass blushes in two shades. These sold out at Space NK over here pretty quickly. I missed out the first lot. Got these fairly recently, and I have on order the limited edition Ambient powder palette that has 3 shades in. Now, I just wanted to say what my first impressions are. I got these two. I got this corally one, which is the dim Infusion. Very, very pretty in the palette. Looks very muted peach. Very pretty colour on the swatch. I'd done a lot of research on which colours were best for me. And this one, which is Mood Exposure, I think. Yeah, Mood Exposure. Doesn't look as pretty as some of the others in the palette, but I figured that this much more muted blusher was going to look better on me, given my all-time best blusher is Plum Attraction, a similar shade by Chanel. Now, I have to say, first impressions, I'm really disappointed. It's perhaps inevitable because they were so highly praised. And I do love my one ambient lighting powder that I have at the moment. So I thought I was going to adore these. And I do like how they look when you apply them, although I don't think they're particularly different to normal blushes. And I don't see a particular advantage in effectively applying your blush and your highlighter all in one, because the reality is you generally are putting highlights in different places to your blush. So I had my misgivings about the concept, but they do look gorgeous in the pan. They apply nicely. They're very soft. They are a bit powdery, which some people don't like. I don't mind that. My big beef is they just don't last. I'm, really testing them out, and the one that I've been wearing the most is the Dim Infusion. I've only just started wearing the Mood Exposure, so I will talk about that more when I've just had a few more days trying it. But this one, certainly, I'm lucky if it hasn't completely disappeared within 2 hours of application. And that's the big, big disadvantage for me. They just have, or this one on me has no longevity. So at the moment, I'm a bit disappointed with the old Hourglass. But as I say, when I've got my limited edition palette and had a chance to use that, and also to try this one a bit more, maybe we'll speak about these a little more. Until then, bye for now.